Hello, good morning students. Now in last lecture actually we have completed temperature. Now the other abiotic factors is water, light and soil, right? Water, light and soil, that we have to go through. Particularly you see that water is the most important factors for each and every organisms, particularly living organisms. Without water, organisms will be unsustainable, right? They cannot complete their life cycle. Even as far as plant is concerned, there is a very much vast effect onto the plants actually. You know the effect of the productivity and distribution of the plants. તમે જુઓ કે જે વખતે વધારે સારું વરસાદ થયો હોય, પ્રેસિપિટેશન્સ વધારે હોય ત્યારે શું થાય તો કે પ્રોડક્ટિવિટી છે આપણા ફાર્મની વધી જાય છે. ઇવન ડિસ્ટ્રીબ્યુશન, સપોઝ ધ વોટર ઇઝ દેર, દેન ધ ડિસ્ટ્રીબ્યુશન ઓફ ધ પ્લાન્ટ્સ વિલ બી વેરી મચ. તમે કોઈ એરિયામાં જાઓ કે જ્યાં વધારે પ્રમાણમાં વરસાદ છે તો કે એમાં પ્લાન્ટ ડિસ્ટ્રીબ્યુશન વધારે હશે, બટ ઇન ધ ડેઝર્ટ ધ વોટર કન્ટેન્ટ ઇઝ અવેલેબલ ઇઝ નોટ ધીસ મચ એમાઉન્ટ, તો એમાં તમને પ્લાન્ટની distribution ઓછું હશે. So that is why its effect on the productivity as well as distribution of the plant. Not only that, suppose you will think that in the aquatic ecosystems the organisms which is available over there they don't have problem. તમને એમ થાય પાણીમાં રહેતા હશે એને કોઈ પ્રોબ્લેમ જ નહીં હોય water related. No, it is not like that. Also they are face the problem regarding to the osmoregulation even. કે suppose કોઈ salt waterમાં હોય કે કોઈ ફ્રેશ વોટરમાં હોય તો એના બોડી ફ્લુઇડની કમ્પેરિઝનમાં એની જે ઓસ્મોલારિટી છે ઇટ્સ કેન બી ડિફર, બરાબર છે, સમટાઇમ્સ હાયર ઓર લોવર. સો ડિપેન્ડ્સ that they have to maintain their osmotic concentration. So that is why they are also facing the problem. So that is why we can say as far as water is concerned, chemical composition and the pH of the water is also one of the greatest factor of on the which is effect on the living organisms particularly. Now you see as far as the salinity is concerned, per 1000 molecules of the water we can measure the salinity of it. Like some numbers is given that you have to underline in your textbook. You can see that inland water means fresh water, the salinity is less than 5%, whereas in ocean or in the sea particularly 30 to 35%, whereas hypersaline lagoon मतलब खारा पानीना जे सरोवर होय ए, that is hypersaline lagoons, that is more than 100% salinity is there, right? So that is the water salinity is depends upon the particular habitat, and according to that the particular kind of plants and animals can be. Now you can see that like in the temperature આપણે જોયું તો stenothermal and eurythermal. Now in the water we can say euryhaline and stenohaline. Euryhaline means what? The organisms in which they can tolerate a wide range of the salinity difference, that is called as what? Euryhaline. See the example which is not given in your textbook but we have given from the reference book, that is euryhaline is stingray, bull shark, herring, lamprey, seagrass and green sea urchin. These are the organisms that can bear a wide range of the salinity difference. And euryhaline, then stenohaline, there is a narrow range of the salinity difference that can bear, and that is plants and goldfish. Suppose goldfish is the marine fish, if it will be transferred into the fresh water and definitely they will not be survive, and that is called as stenohaline. So that is why we can say for the osmotic regulation they have to adapt or either they have to face that particular kind of salinity problems. So that is the description regarding to the water is. Now second is light. You know that light is required for the photosynthesis. Sunlight is the only source of the, we can say, energy. Okay, and as far as if we are talking about the availability of the light is concerned for the photosynthesis, suppose into the dense forest, ekdam guard jungle, or in that case there is a tall trees are available under the canopy, means ena chayama, overshadowing the some of the herb and sub kind of plants and even though they are grow over there because of they grow in the light intensity, means lower intensity of the light, even though they can be survive over there. Okay, not only that, particularly photoperiodism. You remember the 11th chapter number 15th, plant growth and development, that is the photoperiodism, that short day plant and long day plant, right? And according to that, the availability of the light is depends upon that particular. And in that case, what happened? In that case, availability of the light is concerned, its effect on the flowering. As far as we are talking about animal is concerned, animals, the light effect is on the foraging. Foraging એટલે ચારો ચરવા જાય. આપણે સવારના ગાય કે બફેલોઝ વગેરે હોય એ બધા છે એ મોર્નિંગમાં જઈને પાછા સાંજ સુધીમાં પોતે ચરીને પાછા આવી જાય. So foraging, even on the reproduction light is effect. According to light intensity they can reproduce. Even there is a migratory activities is also effect of the light is concerned. Now, as far as you will see that in the deep ocean, more than 500 meter deep in the ocean, there is celestial source, means sunlight is not available over there. But even though the organisms are available, some plants and some animals are survive over there, then there will be question. In NCERT's question is asked that what is the energy source over there? The textbook is not given the answer, but I can given you that the energy source is chemosynthetic bacteria. Through the chemical reactions, they will produce the energy, and that energy can be utilized at that particular region. Now, as far as aquatic habitat is concerned, different kind of wavelength is not available, or even different kind of pigments cannot be absorb this kind of wavelength which is available in that particular aquatic habitat. So that is why, according to that wavelength that they are received, there is a different kind of organisms will be found in that particular area. Like you see, there is green algae, brown algae, red algae. Amongst them, in the deep ocean, means at the bottom of the ocean, which kind of algae will be there? There is a question in NCERT, but answer is not there. But I can given you the answer. At the deep ocean, amongst these three, red algae is available. Why red algae is available? હું જે તમને સેન્ટેન્સ કહું છું એ પછી તમારા ટેક્સ્ટમાં રાઇટ ડાઉન કરી લેજો. Why red algae is available over there? It is because of red algae is consist which pigments? Phycobilins is the pigments is available in it, and which is absorb the blue lights which is having short wavelength, and that is why this red algae is available at to the bottom of the ocean. That is the reason behind this. Now, soil. As far as soil is concerned, nature and the property of the soil in the different place is vary. It's not available in the same amount, or the same types of soil will not be available over there, right? In the different region there is a different kind of soil is available. It depends upon climate and the weathering process, right? જેવું ક્લાઇમેટ હશે, જેવું એનું વેધર હશે, એ પ્રમાણે તમને એની સોઇલ જોવા મળશે. Even particularly soil composition, as well as grain size, aggregation, which is also determine the percolations as well as water holding capacity of the soil. You see, particularly soil transportation. Soil transportation એટલે સપોઝ એક જગ્યાએથી ધૂળ ઉડી અને બીજી જગ્યાએ જાય છે ને ત્યાં સોઇલ ફોર્મેશન કરે છે. Even deposition or sedimentation, એક ઉપર એક એમ લેયર છે એ સોઇલના થતા જાય તો એનું સેડિમેન્ટેશન કહેવાય. According to that, the soil compositions can be created. So that is soil composition. Now soil grain size. Grain size છે એ મેં તમને આપી છે. Sand, silt, clay and colloid. 2 millimeters to 0.2 millimeter is the diameter of the sand. Then silt are sand એટલે રેતી, silt એટલે કાપ, clay and માટી, clay એટલે માટી, and colloid. And particularly, you know, according to that, suppose the proportion of sand is maximum, then sandy soil, then still soil, then clay soil. Such kind of we can say classification of the soil can be. And if that particular grain size will be available in a particular amount, then it will be fit for the particular vegetations, right? It's allowed the particular vegetations. Not only that, it's also determine the percolation as well as water holding capacity of the soil. So that is also one of the, we can say, effect on the organisms. The soil is one of the abiotic factor, and even in the last point of the soil it is given that in aquatic habitat, whatever the sedimentation is available at the bottom of that particular aquatic habitat, the benthic organisms એટલે બોટમ તળિયે જે જોવા મળતા હોય એ જે ઓર્ગેનિઝમ્સ છે એને કહેવાય benthic organisms can be thrive over there, means they can be survive over there. So that is temperature, water, light and the soil. These are the 4 abiotic factors. Now you see response to the abiotic factors. See, response to the abiotic factors is concerned, you can see that the abiotic factors is not available always in a same manner. It can be vary throughout the year. Sometimes what happen at higher temperature or at the very much lower temperature, it can be confused the particular organisms. Even in this particular kind of stress condition, how the organisms can be survive. You see, whatever the evolution is taken place, it is only because of they can able to adapt that particular kind of changes of environment. Not only that, they can maintain their internal environment particularly. એની માટે એક particular definition આપી છે, ડાયાગ્રામની બાજુમાં જ છે, અને એ છે હોમિયોસ્ટેસિસ. In terms of the optimal temperature, and osmoregulation is concern of the body fluid of the organisms, they can able to maintain their internal environment. That particular kind of phenomenon is called at what? Homeostasis, right? But temperature ke osmoregulation ma kai pan changes thai, even though the organisms can be maintain their internal environment, internal temperature and osmoregulation can be maintained. That particular kind of state is called at what? It is called at homeostasis. Okay. Now generally what happened? Generally if the scorching heat is concerned, like in the desert of Rajasthan, there is a too much temperature is there, or if in the lower temperature, we can respond ourselves. Sometimes, okay, artificially we can treat it under SC or under heater, you can maintain your temperature. But even though, how the living organisms can do this? So on the basis of that, to respond to the abiotic factors, there is a 4 kind of organisms is there, and that 4 kind of organisms is actually regulators, conformers, migrators and suspenders, right? First of all, I will given in a short, and then in next lecture we will go through in the brief. Suppose regulators like aves, means birds and mammals, they will regulate the internal temperature, and that is called a regulators, right? Second thing, conformers. See, most of the animals and plants, they will conform us. They will change their internal environment according to the external environment. That is called as what? Conformers. Third is migrates. If they will not adapt their environment in the critical conditions, that what happened? They will migrate from their harmful environment to the suitable environment, and again they can come back to their original one. And suspended, for sometimes they will suspended that physiological activities. Okay, but in brief we will go through in the next lecture, that is regulate, conforms, migrates and suspend nature. It is the we can say that is the 4 points that we will go through. Okay, have a nice day.